Let's see, it works. I know. Hey, hey everybody! It's Rita from Miss Rita to the rescue, and we are here for our first ever Cricut brunch. We're going to be doing some fun Infusible Ink project. Owen says hello, and as do the dogs, and we're also going to be we got a lot going on today. I'm sorry about last night. Whoops. Okay. Were you going outside? Sorry about last night, but oh my gosh, it was so cold on our porch, and I just couldn't think. I was so cold. So I figured, let's do this on...
You were cold, huh?
Yeah, weren't you cold?
Yesterday I was outside in the freezing cold. In the woods.
Well, that was your choice, though. That was your choice. See, I had a choice to come on Saturday.
My hand was redder than the Soviet Union and China.
Oh, yeah, the flag was, yeah. Hello, everyone. He's being funny, my kid is being funny and chatty. And also the dogs are excited because we have sunlight, and even though it's still cold, I warmed up the house this morning with some bread, and so I got started on that, and then I had a nice soup that I was I made yesterday, but I'm kind of like when you make soup, if you like to make soup, it's usually better the next day. So it's good to sort of harden it. That's what I call it. I don't know what it's actually called, but so I got that all up and running this morning, and I felt like I had way more, energy or whatever. But so this morning I have so much to do. Plus I have 3 prizes to give away, and I already saw somebody that's on that is a winner. Yeah, he stepped outside now. He just stepped outside, but okay. So hi. I know it's a little crazy. Hi, Emmy. It's a little crazy here this morning, but as promised, I wanted to go and talk about illustrated ink, Infusible Ink, Infusible Ink with, and I'm going to show you on the Cricut Joy, and we're going to be using the EasyPress 2, and we're also going to be using Infusible Ink pens that are for the Joy, because we're going to do this on the Joy. So we know this is an Infusible Ink pen for the Joy because it says Cricut Joy on it, and then it says Infusible Ink. And just as, just to kind of keep the difference between the pens, this is brand new. If you haven't got it, it's a great little set for Cricut Joy. It's 30 pens, but none of them are Infusible Ink. They're all just the regular pens, but look at that nice selection. It's a really good selection. And so we're going to be doing pens, and I started just using the regular paper, right? I started just taking and using the pens and doing the paper. I mirrored it and everything. And then I started thinking, hey, you know what? I think we could probably do this on actual Infusible Ink sheets. This is an Infusible Ink sheet. You see that on the back? It says Infusible Ink, but I used the pen on the ink. Now, I purposefully used a light color. I don't know that this would work with all the colors, like obviously not with black or something, but Infusible Ink, as you know, comes in either this size or this size. Now, there are benefits to both sides. It's like this is a really inexpensive way to try it, and they're perfectly cut for the Joy. But this is probably a little more economical because it's larger, and if you're going to use the Joy, you just simply cut out a piece, which is what I did here. This is actually Infusible Ink that I've put on my mat. And and I'm going to write on it, okay? So you can use either the small box or the big box. If you want to save a little bit of money, I think the big box is a good deal. And you just cut it down with just the same way you would cut down anything into like 4.5 inches wide, the same way I did with the paper, you see? And then I'll show you how to do it on Design Space as well. Later on, too, we have, and this is what it looks like versus this. This is just paper. This is infusible ink. And then here is what it looks like using the ink and the pens, the sheets and the pens together, which is really kind of cool. I could have used a patterned as well, but I just happened to pick up this mint green that I like, and I'm going to show you how to put it on. We're going to use our EasyPress for that and all of that. So there's that. And I have to take a deep breath here because I have so much to tell you. Also, one of the things that keeps coming up and up is about resticking mats. And I have a solution that I tried, another solution. I know I've always recommended using something called Zig 2-way memory system glue, which is this, and it has like a chisel tip. It's dirty, but it has a chisel tip and to put it on your mats. But instead, I am using today, I'm going to show you how to use this stuff, which is Aleene's Tack It Over and Over, which I bought at Amazon. So I'm going to do that a little bit later after we do the Infusible Ink. Plus, I have winners, our weekly winners for just being fantastic top fans, and we'll do that. I got 3 people that are going to be winners today. So I just want to say hello. Hi, Dorothy. So nice to see you after a week not seeing you. Oh, infusible ink on blankets. That would be fun. I chose to do these coasters because they're a nice small project and they're easy to sort of to do and sort of get a grasp for. And who doesn't need a coaster, right? So this could be a great little project for like Mother's Day or even a Valentine. And I did not draw this. I am terrible at drawing. Now, infusible ink, ink has pens, all kinds of pens, including pens that can be used in the larger machines, the Maker and the Explore machines. And they have Cricut Joy pens. Excuse me. And they also have pens that don't fit in any machine at all, and they're called Freehand Markers. See that? Freehand Markers. The thing is, though, I never have been very good at coloring, and so I don't often use these freehand markers. And so it kind of makes it a little bit hard for me to demonstrate because I'm a terrible drawer, which is why I love my Cricut, because it can do all the drawing for me. If you're in the same boat as me, then you're going to like this project, okay? All right, so hello, everybody. So glad to see you all. Hi, oh, and Dawn's... okay, Dawn's talking about the Cricut Chat holiday card exchange. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about infusible ink. So infusible ink can be done on any of the machines, Explore, Maker, Joy. You do need an EasyPress, and in this case, an EasyPress Mini for coasters. It's not a great result. So I'm going to do my larger EasyPress, which I have over here on the side. And so we're going to use that. The reason why you have to use the EasyPress and not like an iron is that especially the coasters, it requires a very long time to bond the coaster to the design to the coaster, because it's a hard surface, you know, and and it's in a very high heat, 400 degrees. So that's why I don't recommend, or it's not recommended to use either the mini or an iron for infusible ink. Okay, so let's start off with what we know, which is in the design space. So these are 4 images that I found very easily, actually, in design space. I would just go here and hit image plus. I'm working on my iPad. You don't have to be working on your iPad, and it's slightly different if you're working on a desktop, but it's the same theory, same like, just different buttons sometimes. Okay. Oh no, Laurie, we canceled last night because it was too cold and dark, and we're meeting today at noon for brunch instead of date night. So I know it's a little bit hard of a change for people to get used to, but for me, it was just way too dark. Okay, so let's see. I found these really great images, and they're circles, and they were originally designed for to make infusible ink coasters with the pens. I know that because when this came out, that's what they showed us when the folks at Cricut launched this, they showed us this. But what they showed us was to cut it out on paper. This is paper. It's a laser paper. And we cut it out from, put it on the mat, and then we mirrored it, and we put it in our pan, and then we cut it out, and then we used this, and we actually colored in. This is when we first started learning, which you can do. You can do all of that. But today I want to show you a different technique, which was I'm taking an image that is like a drawing, but I'm actually drawing on the infusible ink sheet. Okay, so that when I go to press it onto the coaster, in addition to the color of the sheet, I'm also going to get my drawn image. Okay, so it's slightly different than maybe what you've done before, and this is just a different technique that we're going to show you, and you can love it or hate it. It's up to you. But it's kind of fun, and it sort of twists your imagination a little bit. Okay. So let's see, where do we get these images? I went to Image Plus right here, and I simply typed in drawn, DRAWN, and you'll see when you type in drawn, all of these images that have some sort of drawn element to it. Now, this isn't every single one, but it's a good representation of things that have drawn images on them, and so it's a good place to start. You can also look at things such as image sets as well, or when you're looking here and you see something you like and you want to see where it comes from, you can certainly, so here's the one that I was talking about. So see this one? This is one of the ones that I used. If you hit on the eye, you'll get 2 choices. One is view the image set. And so once I do that, my iPad will take me to the entire image set, which there's a lot of really fun things, and all 4 of them are here as well. But there are also these other bigger ones, not round. But because I'm doing the coasters, I just want to do these round ones, and all I need to do is click on them. There's 4 of them. And then I'm going to hit insert. Now I already have them here on my screen, so I'll just move them out of the way so that you can see. All right, so actually what I'm going to do, quiet please, quiet. I'm going to delete my original ones because I want to show you something that happened to me, and you can resolve it yourself when you're doing it if you choose to do this and it happens to you. Okay, so here are these 4 images. I think they're poppies, but or at least these are poppies. I'm not really sure what this one is, but you'll notice here on the bottom where it says layers that I have a caution sign. So if I were going to go and cut this right now, it would not let me do that. In fact, if I hit go, I would get this message. Now, how many of you have had this kind of message where you're like, product incompatible, and you scratch your head like, is that really true? Can I not do this on my Joy or wherever? Nope, it's not that at all. It's that you have something that can be resolved in your layers, okay? So first we want to hit layers, which is down here. And you'll see that under each of those images, there are the caution symbols. And the caution symbols are only on the draw. See that? Draw, draw, draw. So they're all on the draw section. And what that says to me is that I need to resolve an issue that was it was created. I don't know what the reasoning is, and I'll talk to the Cricut folks about this, but you know, sometimes when you pull something in, the draw part of the image comes up as incompatible. And the easy way to resolve this is just to click on that layer. See that? I have that layer highlighted, and then I'm going to go down here. See, I have that draw layer, and down here where it says draw, there's a question mark. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm just going to choose a different color just to resolve it and apply. And then all of a sudden, it's gone. See that? It's gone. All right, so here, the same thing. Got the little caution sign, go down to the draw where the question mark is. I'm just flipping from one color to the other, hit apply, and it's resolved. Same thing. So I have to do this for each one, but once you can figure out why, then you're all set. Okay, you can go ahead and do it. So now if you went to hit make it, it automatically will get you where you're going. So you'll be able to make it on your Joy or whatever machine. This happens not because of the machine. It just happens. It's just sort of when they added those images, it just didn't have like a pen attached to it. Okay, I know it's a little confusing. So here we go. So in this case, we have 4 coasters. I could show you, how to put 2 on one, but I actually just have this one little piece of Infusible ink that I want to use. So what I did was I taped it off. And the reason why I taped it off was it was starting to pull away from my mat. A lot of people have complained about mats losing their stick and how can they re-stick them. The easiest way to re-stick them is to tape them and to use tape like this. This is just plain old masking tape. It just happens to be colored, and you can tape it down. You could also use the tape if you have a foil transfer thing. You can use the tape from that as well because that's reusable. I would not use anything stickier than, say, masking or washi tape, but it will hold it down, and then you won't have the material move. But I am going to show you when we get done with this. I am going to show you a different way to restick your mat. So in this case, I didn't have a chance to restick this mat, so I used the masking tape. Okay. So let's go ahead, and I got my Joy here. I'm going to choose, actually I couldn't find, for some reason, and this is so weird, but I couldn't find Infusible ink on the compatible. So I just chose iron-on, only because, actually I chose the wrong kind of iron-on. I need to choose regular iron-on, not smart iron-on. So I chose everyday, where is it? Everyday iron-on, okay? It's not really going to matter because we're really, the only part that's going to cut out is the part around here. The rest of it's going to be pen, okay? And one thing else I forgot, it's not super important, but we have to do it just because we need to remember to do it, is when we're doing Infusible ink, we have to mirror, always have to mirror. So if you got it to that place, you need to come back to your canvas, and I did that by hitting cancel, and I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to make sure that I have the mirror toggle switch on. Now, this is just so you'll get used to it, okay? There's no writing on this, but it's something you have to always think about doing whenever you're doing iron-on. I have to mirror, because or else you'll really waste product. The material that you're trying to cut will be cut, especially if it's something that has letters or writing or anything on it. So we just do this because we need to practice and remember. Okay, so we'll hit continue. And here are my images. Now, again, I could, if I wanted to, I could probably fit 2 of these onto a long sheet, but I'm just going to do 1. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit continue. It's mirrored. So I'm going to choose my material is, I'm going to choose everyday iron-on. And it will tell me here, load black pen in clamp. So in this case, I'm going to be loading not just the regular black pen. I'm using my Infusible ink pen. Actually, do I want to use the 1.0 or do I want to use the... I want to use the 0.4 because I want it to be nice, crisp lines, okay? Before you put a pen into your machine, always test it to make sure it's going to write, because it's so stinky if you put it in and it starts and it skips or it doesn't work really great. And remember to hold it up like this instead of like that, because that is the way that the machine does it, okay? So I have to move you a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I know I chose mesh. It really doesn't matter, Shirley, because the only thing that's cutting out is the circle around it, okay? That's all that matters. All the regular stuff is going to be done with the pen, okay? So I am going to first take and remove my cutting blade from my Joy. And I'm going to take my pen and I just pop it in there and close that clamp, right? Because remember, we do writing before we do cutting. And it's going to make sure that I have enough material in there. So we're kind of tricking the system because we're using Infusible ink pens and not regular pens. And then also we're using Infusible ink transfer sheets for this for the mat, okay? So it's all set to go, and all I have to do is hit go, and it will start to write out my my design. And this is what I end up with when I do this. I end up with, this is the back of the Infusible ink, that's the shiny side. So when I put this on the mat, it has to be this side. This side is it's the matte side, but that's the part that has the ink on it. And then here is what I did with writing on it. And so while I'm waiting for this to finish cutting out, I am going to turn on my EasyPress and get it heated up. Now, how do I know what temperature to to heat it up on, well, we need to go to the EasyPress guide. The heat guide. I call it EasyPress guide. So if you don't know about this, this is something you should bookmark, and I talk about it all the time, but it's called the Cricut Heat Guide. It's available on the Cricut website. I have it bookmarked, and so what you do is you start off here and you choose which EasyPress you're going to be using. In my case, I'm using the EasyPress 2. And it doesn't matter the size. I'm using the EasyPress 2, okay? And then we're going to choose the heat transfer material. So we're going to click here and we're going to choose Infusible Ink pen/marker. It's the same thing for pen/marker as it is for transfer sheet. So trust me on this one, you can choose either one. Okay, so Infusible Ink pen/marker, and then the base material today I'm using is my coaster, right? My ceramic coaster. So when I hit apply, it will say that I need to heat it up to 400 degrees, which is what I've got my machine heating up to. So heat it up to 400 degrees, and I have to do it for a very long time. I have to do it for 4 total minutes, no pressure, and it has to be like not moved at all, okay? And then we'll show you here, this is the sandwich we're going to create. So here's your EasyPress. This sheet here is butcher paper. Then comes the coaster, which we're going to, in this case, the coaster has 2 sides to it. It has this, which is the uncoated side, and this, which is a piece of styrofoam, and this, which is the coated, the shiny side. This is only going to work on the shiny side, and that's because this coating is set up to work with Infusible Ink or sublimation. So for people who ask, you know, like, are there cheaper things to do for the coasters? Because coasters, they can be kind of expensive. I usually buy them on sale, but if you go to Amazon and you type in sublimation blanks, you will find a slew of products, not just Cricut products, but if you type in sublimation blanks, you can find products such as clothing and bags and all different types of things there, and they might be cheaper than you find with Cricut. And personally, I have ordered a couple of things that have been sublimation ink. I'm trying to remember what I did. Sorry. I don't remember what I did, but you can buy sublimation blanks at places like Amazon, and that would be a similar thing to this. Obviously, Infusible Ink is a Cricut product, so I'm going to tell you to use Cricut blanks with your Cricut product, and that's because I have an affiliate with Cricut, and I'm going to tell you. But if you're looking for something to try to save money, then try out like Amazon sublimation blanks. There might be other websites that sell it too. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to take our EasyPress butcher paper. There is our coaster, and you'll notice that it shows with the gray side. That means we're going to put the shiny side down, and then we're going to take our design and we're going to put it so that it's attached to the shiny side. You see that? Like this. And then we have to put it on a mat. Oh, we have to put paper, and then we have to put it on a mat. Okay, I don't know why it does it this way, but this is how it does it. it it's just like, I don't know, it's just the way that it works best for this. If you've tried it a different way and it's worked, let me know. But this is the way that I'm told to do it here. Okay, so in this case, you know how we're always forgetting to heat up? You don't have to heat up on a coaster, thankfully. You don't have to really do much or anything. If you wanted to, you can use heat-resistant tape to attach this to it. But I've actually never had really good luck with heat-resistant tape just because it's caused some ghosting for me. So I try to do this without using tape at all, but you have to be very, very careful about when you're doing it, because this is a very hot machine, and when you put it on there, it can kind of move around a little bit, and you don't want it to move around at all. Okay, so our cutout is almost done. So let me go back to Cricut Design Space. Yep, it's drawing and it's almost done. Okay, so we're gonna let that go and keep going. Eventually it's going to be done with the drawing, and then I'm going to have to put the cutting piece back in. But let's show you at least how to set up for the actual Infusible ink. So okay, so here is my pad. You see, I did not use paper one time, and it caused this sort of like ghost image on there. Let's put these out of the way. Here's paper. It's just cardstock. Here's my coaster. This is the shiny side. And here is this image. Is this the same one that we're doing? I think it might be the same one. Now, this is going to come out green. Remember, it comes out, it's lighter than what it actually will be. So you definitely have to reference the box, okay? So we're going to take the coaster, the shiny side, and put the image there. Put that on there. And then we're going to take some butcher paper. This comes in the boxes, the large boxes. I don't know if it comes in the small boxes, but it does come in the large boxes. And then we're going to take our EasyPress, which I have heated up to 400 degrees, and I've set it to 240 seconds, okay? And then what I'm going to do, without moving my project, I'm going to place this on my project. I don't have to push, but I'm going to hold, because it's possible that it will kind of slip around a little bit, and I don't want it to slip around because I don't want the drawing to lose contact, the correct placement contact with that coaster, okay? And it is for solid minutes that you're going to do this for. I would recommend to do these one at a time. I tried to do more than one at a time, and it did cause a little bit of a problem. I don't know why, and I never went back to like try it again. I just in my head said, okay, I'm just going to do this one at a time, which, you know, I know it takes a little bit longer, but the results are amazing. And you will never, ever, you know, unless you break the coaster, you're never ever going to see it wash off or peel off like maybe you'd see if you did this with like regular iron-on or even vinyl. Okay, this is permanently going to be infused into that coaster, and there's no scratching it off or peeling it off. And you can put it in the microwave. You can put it, I don't know why you want to put a coaster in the microwave, but you can. And you can also put it in the dishwasher. Yeah, so I'm doing a drawing on Infusible ink, and then I'm putting it onto a coaster. I'm using the mint colored Infusible ink with a black pen, And yeah, these would be great for Easter or for a Mother's Day gift, or just a little, you know, thank you gift or something like that. So it's drawing now, and now it's stopped. And I don't want to stop what I'm doing here, but I know that on my screen, it's probably saying, here we go. Yeah, there's my screen. It's saying load in the blade, in the clamp. And so I need to take the pen out. When this is done, we'll have plenty of time to take the pen out and cut, do the cutting part of this. Okay, so I'm not going to rush myself, even though I'm super tempted to do that. It sometimes is better just to practice a little bit of patience, and instead of trying to like twist your body around there and try and do two things at once, because I want it to be nice. So while I'm waiting for this, I can call the first winner of our monthly winners. And I think that I saw her today, Deborah Ann Broadbeck. Deborah Ann, are you here today? You are the latest winner of our monthly prize, $50 prize. Deborah Ann Broadbeck, if you're here, definitely raise your hand. And if not, then I will try to contact you from either through email or whatever, but I know I see you all the time, Deborah Ann. And what you're going to do is, if you're a winner, Deborah Ann, you're going to send me an email at Miss Rita to the rescue at gmail.com. And you have to send me your the correct name that you get your postage delivered to and your address. Okay. And so that Deborah Ann, it's Miss Rita to the rescue at Gmail, and you are one of 3 winners today. Okay. My timer has gone off. So I've done my 240. I'm going to lift my machine, put it over here in the cradle. I know that you can't see it. This is super hot. It's 400 degrees, super, super hot. So I'm going to just let it sit for a second, and I'm going to attend to my machine now by taking out my pen and capping it. Oh, wonderful, Deborah. Thank you. I thought I saw you. Okay. And I'm going to take my, my regular, and actually I can see on my, I have a little bit of smudge on my blade. Okay, so I'm just going to close that up, and then from my screen I'm going to hit go. Okay, and what it's going to do is it's just going to cut around the part that I need to do for the infusible ink. Okay, so then I have to just simply unload it. I was afraid this might happen, and it did. So I'm going to show you a little trick. So, okay, so you know how I did put this here, and I probably should have moved my image. And the reason why is, see how the writing here is, I put some like tape there. I think what I'm going to have to do is lift this tape and use my freehand pen, or just use the pen that I just used, and make sure that I fill in that space that went on to the, you see that right here? So I'm going to have to fill in that little tiny bit if I want it to be perfect. And I do, you know, but, you know, if you don't want to be that perfect, then you don't have to, I suppose. But I do, so I'm going to do it. And you can see that this tape is not such a great idea. So I'm going to show you, again, I'm going to show you about how to re-stick your mat so you won't have to deal with things like this. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my little pen, and I'm going to fill in that little area. I'll do that off camera anyway. Okay, so here is, whoops, here is are very hot, still very, very hot. I took the butcher paper off, and you can even feel it emanating from it. It's still pretty hot. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm impatient, I am going to flip it around for you, but I would just recommend take a breather, go out and have yourself, you know, a cold drink or something, and then come back. Don't do as I am doing, because you will burn yourself. Okay, so then when you flip it around and you remove this, there we go. There it is. I can't pick it up and hold it for you, so I have to put it on my paper. But isn't that great? So I used that mint green color transfer sheet and then the pens, and I created this really unique, I mean, it's very unique because it's a choice, you know. Yeah, if you got an Infusible Ink mystery box, this is perfect for this kind of application to try, and it will yield some really incredible results. I think this is still very, very hot, so I'm going to just kind of put it over here a little bit to show you the next part of today's lesson. Okay, that was actually pretty quick, right? Okay. So people have complained to me that, you know, and they do it all the time, because this is one of the things about a Cricut, is that the mats lose their stick eventually, and they can be kind of pricey if you don't buy them on sale. All right. So people have asked, you know, what can I do to clean my mats? And also, what can I do to restick my mats? So there's a two-step process with this. And the first one is you want to clean your mats. Especially if you are a paper crafter, you get what's called paper lint. And you can actually see on this, there's a lot of lint on here. So to clean it, some people have used like baby wipes, but what I always do is I just create a little pile of mats that need to be cleaned, and I go into the kitchen, I take a scrubby sponge, some hot water, or some warm water, and some dish soap, like Dawn or whatever. It doesn't have to be Dawn, but some dish soap, and I just use that wetness of the sponge and I scrub off, and you will see all this little lint stuff comes off. Usually, once you do that and then you allow it to drip dry, the stick will come back. But sometimes the stick doesn't come back. Maybe you've done it many times, like I have, and you need to somehow restick. Or maybe the stick comes back and it's not quite as sticky as it once was, and you want to do you want it to be more sticky, because sometimes you either have to tape them onto the mat, or you have to make sure when it's going in it's not going to move, or sometimes you just say, oh, to heck with this mat, I don't want to do it anymore. So I have always recommended the Zig Memory System glue, which is this Zig Memory System 2-way glue. However, it is very tiny tip. It's a chisel tip, and if you're doing 12 by 12 mats, it takes a lot of glue. So this works in a pinch. But then someone suggested this, and I remember using it way back. It's called Aleene's Tack It Over and Over. It has to be this over and over stuff, and I'm going to show you what you do. So first off, what you're going to do is you're going to take and you're going to tape off the mat. And the reason you do this is because you need for this area, especially on the side, you need for this area to not have glue on it, okay? Because it will gum up your machine, okay? And then, so that's why I taped it off. If you feel like you don't, like if you're one of those painters that doesn't need to tape off, that's fine too. But this for me is allows me to be a little more, I don't know, neat. Okay, then I took this Tack It over and over. It's so thick. So what I did was I put it into a little, what do you call this? Tupperware type of thing, like this. And I watered it down to make this. Yep, you can do this with the Joy mats too, Sandra. I'm going to show you, okay? So you water it down so that it's kind of like a thin glue. And when it comes out of the I'll show you when it comes out, how thick it is. It is incredibly thick. And if you want to try using it that way, go right ahead. But honestly, that is super, super thick. All right. Do you see that? So it's super thick, and trying to get that onto your mat, I really think just using a little bit of water to thin it out is the best way to do this. And then I just took this little spongy thing. I have my mat all taped off, and then with a very light hand, I just started brushing this with the glue, the watered down glue. Okay? And go all the way down. I went in one direction. And don't use a lot. You can come back if you want and take some off. Don't make big puddles of it, you know what I mean? Just enough that it's getting all covered on there. And do your whole thing. Okay? And now what we have to do is allow it to dry. Okay, because it has the water in there, so it's going to be thicker. So, but see, this is how much I've got on there. And let me show you the ones that I did before we went online. And try to put it in a place, you know, that that it's going to, you know, not be disturbed. So here is a very old mat, and you can tell it's a very old mat because it has all these flowers on it, and they haven't had those for several years. So I put the tape on there, and I did paint on that glue. And I'm just taking off the masking tape because you don't need it now. And you might be able to reuse it if you have more than one mat to go. And then, see that? The stick is back. If I told you, I wish I could have shown you what the mat was like before, but it was like nothing. It wouldn't stick to my hand, so it's sticky. I did the same thing with this. This one's actually sticking to my hand. Maybe I should have put it on a little, but I did the same thing. It doesn't really change the look of the mat, as you can see, but it does make it a lot stickier. And then, now I haven't tried this on a card mat yet, because it's slightly different, front plastic, but I'm going to try it on the card mat, and I'll let you know how it goes. But, I think this was a good find. I did buy this Aleene's glue on Amazon, but I'm sure they have it in the other craft section. But don't get that brown one. Get this one. It has to say Tack It over and over, okay? And it will give you that stick back. You see that? Instead of this one, like that. Or let me get a different one. And I have like oodles of these, right? So, not sticking at all. I mean, it just got a little stick to it. And personally, I would probably avoid using this and put some sort of sticky on it. So I'm going to try this with all my mats that I have sort of piled up that are clean, but don't have quite enough stick to it. Okay, so what else? What else we got? Okay, so I called Deborah Ann Broadbeck for a winner. We have 2 more winners today, so I'm going to call them now. But I did want to and take a minute to tell you about the week upcoming. We're getting close. This is the last week in January, so we're getting close to Valentine's Day. So we're going to be doing mostly Valentine's Day projects this week. Monday is our mystery material. What about it, Lori? Lori's asking about the last mystery box. All you need is love. Will you... Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's going to last me. That's why I put it in the Tupperware, because I can then close it up. And if I needed to, I can always water it down a little bit more with water, okay? So that's what was my thought process, was I can do this all the time, and then I don't have to throw away any mats, okay? All right. So Monday is Mystery Material Monday. So we're going to be doing holographic vinyl for our mystery material, and I'm going to be coming up with a holographic vinyl. It's actually a repurposed thing that we've done these before, but I have some jars that are red that are left over from, one is a candle that used to be a candle for Christmas that was in a red jar, so we're going to decorate that. And then I also have a mason jar that's red that we're going to decorate, so we're going to do that on Monday. And then for the rest of the week, we have other Valentine's projects coming up. So I hope that you can either tune in or catch me on the replay with YouTube at Miss Rita to the rescue. Okay. So is Perolita broiless? Perolita broiless in the house. Perolita. I'm saying it with a rolled R. It's spelled Perolita. Perolita. Are you in the house today? Because you are the next winner. And I'll tell you what to do in a second if you are in. And then the next one is Pam Roddy Reagan. Pam Roddy Reagan. So our three winners for today are Deborah Ann Broadbeck, Pam Roddy Reagan, and Perolita Broiles. Okay? Broiles. Broyles. So the three winners have to send me an email. My email address is missrita2therescue@gmail.com. And we are sending out this month's prize is like last month. It's a $50 prize worth $50 of Cricut merchandise. Last month, it ended up being a set of pens, kind of like this, but for the bigger machines, and a spatula with like a tool set. Okay, and that was the winners. There were two people that only got the tool set. So in the event that happened to you and you were a December winner and you only got one of the two items, would you email me? I do know about the two people that didn't get them, but if you were a winner and you haven't emailed me, you didn't get both items, the pen set and the tool set, will you email me again at missrita2therescue@gmail.com? Oh, I'm glad that you got the mystery box. So I guess I found out later that the mystery box, something happened with the inventory where some people were trying to buy more than one. And so they went through and they told those people they can only buy one, which freed up some inventory. So from now on with the mystery boxes, they're not going to allow, they don't allow you to put more than one in your cart, but what they didn't do before was they didn't go back and make sure that you didn't order multiple, and that's what they did for this one to make it available. So anyway, Phew, that's everything I have today. I hope that you are going to have a fun crafting day today. It's a perfect day here in New England for that. Today we did the Infusible Ink pens with the Infusible Ink transfer sheets. I'm really interested in hearing what you guys come up with. Hi, Eileen. I did get your email. I did get your email finally. So that was one of our winners from before, Eileen, who's checking in with us. So, okay. And let's see. If you're thinking of making a purchase at Cricut, please remember to use my link and my code. My code right now is Miss Rita 10. And my link is always listed in the, description of the videos. This allows you to save 10% and get free shipping on orders of $50 or more. Plus, I get a little, very tiny amount comes to me as somebody who referred you to Cricut. Okay. Thanks everybody for coming today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you can catch up with me this week as well. And we'll be having a really fun Valentine's week going forward. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.